Welcome to the joyful dawn of a new era. These are excellent ideas for manufacturers brought to you by the Product Quality Cleaning Workshop team of Darren Williams, the professor. He teaches physical chemistry and thermodynamics at Sam Houston State University. He also teaches cleaning to students and to practicing engineers.
And we have the cleaning lady and the rocket scientist with BFK Solutions. They do consulting and critical cleaning, and they are your experts. And they're impartial. They don't sell things. They give you great information, and that's part of what we're doing here with these Clean Critically videos.
So today we're talking about examples of household cleaning products that are used in critical and industrial applications. And we see them in a lot of different applications, from inertial navigation systems, military hardware, precision optics, medical devices, space exploration.
For example, I recall someone talking about using ZEP automotive cleaner for medical devices.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. And Joy was used in cooling coils. But guess what the supervisor's name was?
Anyway. Was Joy?
Yep, I got it.
In general, we advise against using such products for critical product cleaning, and we'll tell you a little bit why. Here was an example of Joy dishwasher.
This is the archetypal story of why you shouldn't use household cleaners. This goes back into the day it was when I started in the field. An older engineer told me the story that Joy was successfully used to clean inertial nav systems for the military. So much so that it was written into the process. It was tested. They did compatibility studies and everything. Then Lemon Fresh Joy was introduced and the navigation systems failed. I mean, not just tests, they turned into doorstops.
So it wasn't just out of spec. They didn't work.
No, it was out of this world. It was dead.
Oh, goodness.
You know, we see a lot of dishwasher liquids, that type of thing being used. Cleans dishes pretty well. It's been used to remove grease from ducts after an oil spill. But is it really the best choice for cleaning critical metal parts?
Or anything.
Yeah, in fact, if you search, like when I was doing work on vapor degreasing, I typed in degreaser and searched for that, and I got a lot of dishwashing soaps as degreasers.
That's a great point. That's and Karen, why don't you explain why?
And the thing that is that these consumer products are not really designed to remove the manufacturing soils. You know, they are definitely engineered products, but they're engineered with the home in mind, with dishwashing, or maybe it's a glass cleaner, and so they're thinking about the soils that are on the windows around the house. So they're not really thinking of a manufacturing process, and they put a lot of additives into their products. So sometimes they are missing additives like rust preventatives that you may need in your industrial process.
And if you're doing small batches, you can use an emulsion cleaner, but if you want to do anything bigger, usually you want an oil splitting cleaner so that the oil pops to the top, skim it off, and you can use it longer. That's not going to in most household cleaners.
That's right.
And consumer products often are touted as beauty aids. Why? Because they contain additives like colorants, aromatics, lotions, and you might get substrate damage. There you can see multiple formulations. The formulation will change in response to the consumer market. And product support is quite variable.
Just think of the old Palmolive commercials. You know, they were soaking their fingers in dishwashing liquid, and they were afraid it was going to dry out their skin. But their point was there's lotion in there, and it'll keep your hands from cracking.
But you don't necessarily want to put that lotion on the product you're cleaning.
Right.
So I went online and shopped a little bit, my favorite thing. And I looked for Dawn liquid dishwashing varieties. I listed a few. And I particularly like the gentle clean pomegranate and water and the antibacterial orange. I thought those would be lovely. But let's look in this in a little more detail. Those are all different formulations.
But
Next.
we looked at the professional cotton plant cleaner and the Dawn lemon essence. And so I pulled up the SDSs for both of those, which at times is a little difficult to do because you don't always get them listed on the company website that's making the
You
product.
have to search. It's
You-
it,
Sure.
you may or may not.
These are not directly on the Procter and Gamble website, for
You
instance.
do not always get the same message.
But
you
if
will
you
notice,
look, here's two compositions, and there are 4 ingredients that are listed, and 3 of them are the same, are
very
pretty much
sim-
the same in both formulations. Not exactly the same amount, but at least the identification. There's a 4th one that appears in one, and a different
different.
one appears in the other.
They're
Sure.
not
They're not the same.
They're
is
not
what-
the same. And even some of those are ranges of compounds. So they're not pure substances. They're classifications of compounds.
Yes,
that's a
Yes.
great point. So it depends on what you actually get.
yes.
Right.
And that said, next, the SDS, as we have both said, is not the whole story. SDS is an OSHA document, so they're really emphasizing ingredients that may be harmful to employees. Sometimes they talk
That's a
about
great point, actually.
Yeah. And it really doesn't consider the impact on the product. It's not giving you all the information that you need.
Yeah, and
That's actually true of any SDS, really. You have to get much more detail.
in part 2 of this story,
You'll get more.
we'll show some of the diverse ingredients that there are that are not on the SDS.
You can search and find ingredients. So what should you do next? Here's what we suggest. We suggest keep calm, observe, and don't audit. Do you see consumer product used for product cleaning? Are there acute or obvious issues like the reject rate or inconsistent cleaning or a customer with epaulets on their shoulder coming in and growling at you? Above all, we suggest not yelling at the techs or assemblers. It is
Sure.
counterproductive.
And you should expect too, if you go with a vendor or a supplier that is focused on parts cleaning, they should be able to walk you through the formulation and tell you the things that are in there and why they're in there. And you're probably not going to get that kind of a service if you're going and buying a consumer product. You're not going to be able to get someone on the phone that will tell you, what each of those components on the SDS sheet is doing for your product cleaning.
It takes some digging. Well,
Yeah.
Yes.
So
But one way you can keep up and get some information is asking why and getting some information from us, the PQCW
all 3
team.
of us.
We
Yes.
have our newsletter that you can access through our website, and Darren and his team, and we're part of the team for webinars and courses,
Yes.
through the PQCW website.
So in part 2, you will discover things like why consumer products are used. Are people using them to make your life miserable? And what you could do about it if if they are causing you problems or you are concerned that they will cause you problems.
Yeah.